Hey guys, it's Saturday. So the topic this week was chosen by Shane because I don't know, weird stuff was going on at the beginning of the week. I don't really know. But the topic is I just had it in my head and now it's gone. Oh, school stress and life stress. Sorry, that was weird. I just watched the videos and I was like, okay, yeah. And then it went out of my brain. Okay, so I think that I really like what Jess said. I think that's probably as good advice as I'm going to be able to give. Just I use the other as a break from the first thing. So I'll use school to take my mind off life, and I'll use life to take my mind off school. Um, it helps me to be on a sports team because then even though I'm at school, when I mean, it was better in high school, to be on a sports team because then even when you're at school, you have the people on your sports team around you and it's not so academic all the time and assignments all the time. Um, at Seattle, I still I like being on a sports team because most of my friends come from that. So, even though we're all doing all our schoolwork and stuff, we sort of do it together and we still have that common interest of the sport that we play. So, that still comes up a lot and it just helps balance everything. Um, I think yeah, with school, I think everyone's different the way they want to organize it. Some people are super organized. Some people take consistent breaks at certain time intervals, and that works for them. I'm not really like that. Um, I don't really stress about school because I'm always able to get stuff done, whether I have to stay up all night or whatever. I always get it done on time. So I just know myself to be that way, so I don't really stress about it too much, even though it kind of gets me in crappy situations sometimes. Um, but yeah, I think you just need to learn what works for you with school. And I think I mean, I don't know how old you guys are, but by this age, you probably have a general idea of what works, even though maybe that's not what you do. I think it would help me to be more organized, but I can get by without doing that, so I do. I do get organized sometimes, but it's pretty rare. So, yeah, I think my biggest advice is just balance your life, make time for friends, but make time away from friends also. And I think that works pretty well. And then just staying active, that really helps me. Just because not necessarily just from an exercise standpoint, but I there's racquetball courts at my school and I really like playing racquetball. So I'll go down and play racquetball for a little while, or I'm getting into yoga now, so when I go up to school, I'll do yoga in the morning or in between classes or whatever, and that will help me just sort of separate from the school environment and just get into my own world and not have to deal with that and not even have to deal with people and just do something for me. That really helps. Music really helps me just disconnect. Sometimes you just need to disconnect. Movies are good for that and reading. Yeah. I've definitely had times where I'll get into a book and come back to the real world and be like, wow, I just hadn't taken a break in a while. And it's really nice to just separate for a second and then come back. So that's my advice on that. The questions about GSAs, I don't know why my nose is running. I'm really not experienced with GSAs. My high school didn't have one. And Seattle U, it's just different at college. I could almost say that Seattle used one giant GSA because you have to be okay with gay people when you're at Seattle, otherwise you are a minority. Um, but I think I think they're important, and I also think that there are people that don't need them. I think there are people that do need them, and I think they're important to have on campus just as a presence. But I don't think that they're essential for people to be comfortable with their gayness or for acceptance to happen. I think there are a lot of other ways. Um, and if I don't know, I think it just depends on the attitude of the general society that you're in. But again, I have really no experience with GSAs. I don't really know how they function or what kinds of things they do or anything like that. Yeah, so that's it for this week, guys. I will see you next Saturday. Bye.